Good morning to our special guest, Dean Eidelman, Osler Fellows, the leadership of the Physicianship Program, and especially the students of the class of 2025 and their family and friends. Welcome to everyone. My name is Dr. Mélanie Mondou, and I'm the Associate Dean of the Undergraduate Medical Education. McGill University is situated on land which long served as a site of meeting amongst Indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe nations. We acknowledge and thank people who have marked this territory on which people of the world now gather. It is my pleasure and honor to have the chance to living on Turtle Island.
Je m'appelle Dr. Marion Coche et je suis directrice de programme aux études médicales de premier cycle pour le campus Outaouais. Nous animerons la cérémonie aujourd'hui. Prenez note que la cérémonie sera photographiée et filmée. Si vous préférez qu'on ne diffuse pas de photos ou de vidéos, s'il vous plaît, parce qu'ils vont être diffusés sur les médias sociaux, s'il vous plaît, avisez un de nos membres de comité d'organisation. Les photographes professionnels prendront des photos de tous les étudiants et toutes les étudiantes qui recevront leur sarrau blanc. Nous vous demandons alors donc de rester à votre place durant la cérémonie. Je sais que ça va être difficile. Les proches qui souhaitent prendre des photos auront l'occasion de le faire une fois la cérémonie terminée. Merci de votre collaboration. Aujourd'hui, nous avons l'occasion de célébrer la remise de votre sarrau blanc et de réfléchir à ce que cette étape signifie pour vous. C'est en effet une première étape importante que vous franchirez aujourd'hui. Elle sera suivie de plusieurs expériences enrichissantes, autant dans vos études que sur le plan personnel. Vous vous apprêtez à participer aux soins de vos patients et ce seront vos enseignants les plus reconnaissants. Commençons nos célébrations par quelques mots de la part de Dr. Ante Padjen, qui nous présentera ensuite une performance festive des cordes I Medici di McGill.
Merci, Dr. Koch, Dr. Mondou, Monsieur le Doyen, les collègues, les parents et class of 2022. We are very happy to be here, and I Medici has been present in all the previous 20 or so white coat ceremonies. Today, we are here with slightly enlarged number, used to be quartet, and of course, we are only part of a larger ensemble that's called I Medici McGill Orchestra that has provided music in this city and communities for the last 34 years. Let me first introduce my colleagues. Could I have the slide? Yes, here. So, starting with one person that is missing, who is actually part of this 2022. So, please greet Alex Shisby, our concert master and first violin. Thank you. You have your violin. Next is Joanne. She is practicing family medicine. Mike is a retired biochemist and also a technology transfer member of the community. Second violins are George, who is a graduate student in neuroscience at McGill. Tom, who is an IT technologist, also graduate at McGill. My stand partner, Mark, is professor of music at Concordia University, actually chair of the music. And Fan Di is a graduate student in microbiology, and she actually hopes to get into medicine at McGill next year. I hope that helps here. Adrian is a professional contrabassist, professor of contrabass double bass at McGill and Concordia. And I am student of medicine, neuroscience, and a few other things for the last 45 years. I still didn't finish anything, but I enjoyed discovering and enlarging my knowledge with my students. And this is really life. So for today, we have prepared two pieces of music. One is Melodia by a Ukrainian composer that has now become very popular because it seems to be an antidote for all the bad news that are coming from Ukraine. And the soloist is going to be, of course, Alex. And the second piece is Salut d'amour. Young Edward has been very much in love and has created this music as a gift to his wife. So let's take this topic that music is really many things. We could talk a lot about music, say very little, but I would take here that this composition is really a way forward. Love is really what moves us rather than all the other things that we hear this day. And last, I would like to thank the parents of our class 2025 whose love for the kids brought us all here. So thank you again. Give them an applause.
Our sincere thanks to the I Medici di McGill for their wonderful performance. I would now like to invite Dr. David Eidelman, Vice Dean of Principal of Health Affairs and Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, to deliver this address.
Merci Mélanie. Bienvenue à tous et à toutes. Good morning everyone, class of 2025, family and friends, and those joining by live stream, welcome. J'aimerais particulièrement accueillir les membres de la deuxième cohorte de Campus Outaouais qui recevront leur sarrau blanc aujourd'hui et qui font de la promotion 2025 la plus nombreuse de notre histoire de cette cérémonie. Je tiens à remercier les équipes administratives de l'école de Montréal et de l'Outaouais qui sont parmi nous aujourd'hui. C'est grâce à votre leadership et à votre détermination que la promotion 2025 peut célébrer ce moment important. It's also a great pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Jillian Horton, Associate Professor Internal Medicine at the University of Manitoba and the Winnipeg Health Sciences Center. It's an honor to have you here with us today. And to our Osler Fellows, thank you very much for mentoring our students. I would like to say a special hello to Dr. Frederick Braun, who is joining us via live stream and whose continued support enables us to uphold this important tradition. We are very fortunate, thanks to Rick and Maureen Braun's generosity. Thank you for this gift to our students. Well, like I say every year, when I was at this stage in my career, it was the year of the Olympics in 1976. It's hard to imagine. And the big thing that we had at that time, at this stage, we got to work at the Olympics. That was a real privilege. Very glamorous job. People are going, why were you working at the Olympics? Well, we were in charge of making sure that people peed into cups for doping testing. And you had to watch them pee. Well, I guess it wasn't so glamorous, but we did have passes to all of the events, which was really cool. Mais aujourd'hui, alors que vous arrivez à cette même étape de votre parcours, le monde a beaucoup changé. Grâce aux efforts intenses des scientifiques et des équipes de soins de santé ici et partout dans le monde, nous vivons un retour à une certaine normalité, mais le combat contre le COVID-19 n'est pas encore terminé. Et ces dernières années ont été très éprouvantes et nous ont donné une grande leçon d'humilité. Mais j'espère qu'elles nous aideront à mieux nous préparer aux futures situations de crise et surtout à devenir de meilleurs médecins et de meilleurs humains pour nos patients. Votre mission, notre vocation, c'est servir nos patients et notre société. A physician's number one purpose is to serve patients and society, and I ask you to take a moment to think about this. There's a quote, it's variously attributed to Shakespeare, Picasso, whatever, but the quote is what is important. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. You've all been given a powerful gift, symbolized by the white coat, and that gift is talent and the opportunity to train, to become a doctor, to make a big difference in people's lives. Think for a moment about how you might develop that gift as you begin this next phase of your medical education, and how you might use it with compassion and respect when interacting with your patients, with healthcare colleagues, and with each other. The McGill medical community is a close family. Many of us study and work together for many years. I had the pleasure of seeing people today that I've known for many, many years. Our collaboration and teamwork are critical if we are to deliver the best possible care for our patients. And so compassion and respect for one another must be core values of every student in this room. I'm going to come back to this topic in a short while. Aujourd'hui, vous allez revêtir solennellement votre sarrau blanc. Comme je l'ai mentionné, c'est un symbole de vos talents et votre vocation. Le sarrau blanc symbolise le rôle de soignant que vous endossez en adoptant une pratique fondée sur les données probantes, sur la science. Et nous avons vu toute l'importance ces dernières années avec la mise au point rapide des vaccins efficaces, l'un des plus grands exploits scientifiques de notre époque. Mais votre sarrau blanc symbolise aussi à la fois votre rôle comme scientifique et la responsabilité que vous assumerez comme soignant. Il représente enfin votre intention de faire de votre mieux, de donner le meilleur de vous-même pour vos patients et pour leurs familles. Ce qui implique, comme je l'ai évoqué plus tôt, d'agir de la même façon les uns avec les autres pour bien faire votre travail. Your white coat is a symbol of the highest order. It's a reflection of who you are and who you'll become. We expect you to become outstanding physicians. And we know you'll be excellent. Hey, you got the talent and the ability to get into the McGill School of Medicine, so there you go. Doesn't mean it'll be easy. As your level, I remember how stressful, how difficult it could be to get through med school. But remember, you definitely have what it takes. So I want to come back now to compassion and respect, which are the heart of who we are as doctors. In recent years, in the context of the pandemic and other global pressures, we sadly have seen a rise in intolerance, discrimination, racism. And I'm sorry to say we've even witnessed these phenomena in our faculty itself. As I mentioned earlier, given our mission and values, it's vital that as a community we work closely and listen respectfully to other viewpoints to best meet the needs of patients as well as their families and society. And it's the right thing to do. This means it's incumbent on us to find ways to look for solutions and to do this regardless of our background, of our political views. Of course, we may sometimes disagree, but in the context of delivering health care, of providing care for patients, our roles as healers, as seekers of new knowledge, as professionals, must take precedence. This journey can be tough at times, and I'm sure you already know, and we have to watch out for each other. It can be as simple as what we say and how we say it. Remember that our words matter, as do our actions. Sometimes we must disagree to move forward together to deliver our mission. And as physicians, we all own this responsibility and must work collectively to cultivate an inclusive environment where everyone feels welcomed, respected, and safe, regardless of differences. When you don your white coat, please think of this today and every day in all your professional and educational interactions with each other. Cette cérémonie est importante pour vous, mais aussi pour ceux et celles qui vous sont chers. Pour arriver à ce moment précis, vous avez dû travailler extrêmement fort avec le soutien de vos proches. Et ce moment doit être une grande fierté pour eux aussi. You are living the dreams and hopes that they have held for you, as well as for which they've given you support to develop this gift you have, symbolized by the white coat. So let's take a second to your families and friends. Il faut dire merci, thank you. And so, in addition to thanking those who brought you here, I want to congratulate you on this really important milestone. Félicitations à tous et à toutes. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Dean Alderman. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Jillian Horton, an Associate Professor of Internal Medicine at the Health Science Center and the University of Manitoba. She is the Associate Head, Professionalism of the Department of Internal Medicine and the Director of the Allen Class Health Humanities Program in Physician and Learner Wellness at the Rady Faculty of Health Sciences. In April 2020, Dr. Horton was awarded the Gold Humanism Award by the Association of the Faculties of Medicine of Canada for national contributions to compassion in clinical care and her leadership in the field of humanities in medical education. Welcome to Dr. Horton.
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur le doyen, collègues, les étudiants de la promotion 2025, leurs familles et amis, leurs professeurs et mentors, je suis honorée d'être parmi vous à l'occasion de la cérémonie de remise des sarraux blancs. Je suis médecin, mais lié à cette identité, il y a le fait que je suis écrivaine. Et parce que je suis une écrivaine, j'aime vraiment raconter des histoires. Alors, c'est là que nous commençons ce matin. I used to sit on an awards committee for a prize that was given to honor a late young medical student who died of cancer. And on that awards committee, her father sat as well. Now, one year as we reviewed the candidates, he told us in detail about his late daughter, her compassion, her idealism, her decency, and how she embodied all of the same qualities that I know I see in you as I look out here today. But her father also spoke about the realities of watching a daughter die of blood cancer. And one experience in particular, it was his daily encounter with the medical team, a team that all of you will soon be a part of. Now, every day when his daughter was an inpatient on the ward, the team would barge unannounced into her room. And somebody would begin by saying, "This is a 30-year-old female," and proceed to talk about her, a fellow medical student, as if she weren't even present. And this is often the dystopian way that a patient's encounter with us begins. All of their lives and rich history reduced to age and sex and pathology. Now, what struck her father was how few of people on that medical team ever introduced themselves by name. How few of them ever acknowledged him, a father, sitting at his daughter's bedside as she lay dying. And actually, one of his most painful memories that he shared was how often members of that team would be looking at their phones. And it was just a gesture to them, right? I mean, this is something we all do multiple times every hour, and a reflection in many ways of the wicked demands that constantly exist on our time. And I actually doubt that any of those doctors or medical students or residents remember those moments. But what I want to impart to you today is that you have now entered a space where people's memories of everything that you do are going to be heightened. You might not remember them, but they will remember you. Your kind words, your kind gestures, your greetings or lack thereof. And in many cases, they will remember those things for the rest of their lives. Now, I want to tell you that I know about this firsthand, because I grew up as the sister of a profoundly disabled sibling with a brain tumor. And I saw from a very early age how cynical and unfortunately how entitled some doctors could be. The harm that they could inflict with an eye roll, or the pain of their disinterest in our suffering, and how that was experienced much like that medical student with cancer's father described, as a feeling of abandonment. My family presented in deep pain and brokenness, and too often the professionals that we encountered looked the other way. But I also learned that there was another way to be, because I saw doctors who were gentle and compassionate and so kind. And the medical management that they offered wasn't usually any different. It was exactly the same, but the difference was in how they looked at us. how they treated us, how they spoke to us. That was everything to us as a family. And I often say that we survived some very bleak and horrible years just living on that kindness that those doctors meted out. And that's how I can tell you unequivocally how much your smallest actions will matter. Now, I know today you're thinking about doing the big things, the surgeries and the deliveries and the miraculous cures. But I want to suggest to you that the real miracle in your patient's eyes might actually be your kindness. Now, I'm working on my next book, and just a few weeks ago, I found myself wanting to write about a wonderful patient who I had cared for when I was just an intern. He had a rare disease called Poems syndrome, and the night I met him, he was critically ill. Now, this was a long time ago, and I knew that he had since died. But when I went looking for him a couple of weeks ago, for the first time, a Google search led me to the name of his surviving partner and an email address. So I put a feeler out into the universe, as I sometimes do, and it started to his partner, Andrew, with the line that I always start these kinds of inquiries with: "I don't know if you'll remember me." Well, just a few hours later, I got back an email, and it started with this: "Jillian, of course I remember you. I remember how compassionate you were that dreadful evening Winston first came into the hospital. How reassuringly you held his hand. Imagine a doctor actually holding someone's hand. And I remember how if it hadn't been for you realizing his blood oxygen levels were dangerously low, he would have died during the night. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for both those things." Now let me translate that message for you by telling you that that night I did a fairly simple measurement of a patient's arterial blood oxygen. And it was technically challenging because the patient had some skin changes, but I just persevered where some of my colleagues had given up. But you know why I think I persevered? Because I had bonded with him. And I had bonded with him because I really looked at him. And I smiled at him, and he smiled at me, and I asked him about his life, and he asked me about mine. And it turned out that he was an English professor. And so for most of that night, while I cared for him, we talked about poetry and medicine and life in general. Now that was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, one night in my life, one night among hundreds of on-call nights. But it is a singular event in a surviving partner's life. The significance of my hand-holding is remembered as on par with the medical intervention. And that is how people remember us. Because to paraphrase Maya Angelou, it isn't just about what we say or do, it is also about how we make them feel. Now, I know that you will encounter other physicians and burnt-out, well-meaning residents who will tell you, you don't have time to practice like that. And I want you, please, to begin to immunize yourselves against that message right now. Cynicism is an occupational hazard in medicine. But it isn't just a hazard. It's also a choice. Cynicism resonates a bit with people when they first try it on because it feels validating. Boy, if I'm miserable, I must be really important. And, you know, I understand why people choose it, especially now, 2.5 years into this pandemic. But sometimes they've never seen another path, or they've never been shown a way that they could choose something else instead. But I want to tell you that cynicism is not unique or important or imaginative or a marker of a higher intellect. Anyone can take that path. Any one of us can be lured down that path. But it won't help us. Not now, and not ever. Je vais maintenant vous raconter une dernière histoire. Un jour, cela fait plusieurs années maintenant, j'étais assise à l'urgence. J'étais épuisée. J'avais passé un très mauvais week-end de garde. Tout le monde voulait quelque chose de moi. Les infirmières, les résidents, les étudiants en médecine, les familles, ma propre famille. J'avais à peine dormi pendant près de 2 semaines. Ce qui, soit dit en passant, est l'une des nombreuses choses que nous devons réviser en tant que culture médicale. Cette idée folle que nous sommes surhumaines et que nous pouvons dépasser nos limites physiologiques. Mais ce week-end-là, j'étais fatiguée, affamée, contrariée et je m'apitoyais sur moi-même. On m'a appelée sur ma pagette. C'était un numéro extérieur et j'étais déjà frustrée anticipant une personne de plus qui demanderait quelque chose d'autre de moi. J'ai répondu à l'appel. À la 3e sonnerie, la voix d'une femme plus âgée m'a dit « Bonjour ». Elle a dit qu'elle cherchait Dr. Gillian Horton. J'étais un peu froide. J'ai dit quelque chose comme « À qui est-ce que je parle ?» Elle me donne son nom. Elle continue « Mon mari » et elle ajoute son nom. Il était l'un de vos patients l'année dernière. Une année, c'est long en médecine sur les étages d'un hôpital. C'est comme la vie mesurée en années humaines au lieu d'années de la vie d'un chien. Je lui ai dit « Je suis désolée, mais je ne reconnais pas ce nom. » Mais elle a insisté sur le fait que j'avais vu son mari en consultation. Eh bien, je me dis, je vois beaucoup de gens en un an. Je ne me souviens pas de tous. Pendant que je parle à cette dame, ma vie semble difficile et il y a quelque chose qui confirme, comme je l'ai dit auparavant, le manteau du cynisme que j'avais choisi de porter ce matin-là. Je me sens vraiment importante et j'ai le droit de me comporter comme je le veux. Je suis prête à lui dire que je n'ai aucune idée de quelle elle est ou de qui était son mari. Et si elle a besoin de quelque chose, elle devrait faire un suivi auprès de son médecin de famille. Mais, heureusement, avant que je puisse dire quoi que ce soit, cette femme revient avec « Je n'ai pas pu arrêter de penser à vous, Dr. Horton. Je n'ai jamais pu vous remercier. » Eh bien, cela m'arrête tout d'un coup. J'appuie sur le bouton « Pause ». C'est comme si j'enlevais ce manteau et que je me rappelais soudainement qui je suis vraiment. Elle m'a dit que son mari était mourant le jour où je l'ai rencontré. Elle dit que son médecin m'avait consulté pour m'aider à contrôler sa douleur. Elle dit que je suis entrée dans la chambre d'hôpital et que j'ai parlé chaleureusement, de façon réconfortante, et que j'ai changé certains de ses médicaments. Elle ajoute « Vous l'avez rendu si confortable. Vous étiez si gentil. Il est mort plus tard dans la journée, mais grâce à vous, il était paisible. » Elle pleure à la fin et elle m'a dit « Je voulais juste vous dire que votre gentillesse a fait toute la différence. Vous ne le savez probablement pas et je ne vous oublierai jamais. » En effet, je ne le savais pas. Je ne me souviens pas de lui. Je ne me souviens de rien. Mais j'espère que cette histoire vous démontre la vitesse et avec quelle facilité on peut être transformé en quelque chose qu'on ne veut pas être, quelque chose que vous pensez qu'il vous serait impossible de devenir. And she also reminded me that we never really know. We don't know the difference we made, just like we don't know what other people are going through. Your angry patient, your distressed family, the stranger on the other end of the phone, even your classmates, and maybe especially your classmates. Look to the person on your left and right, and I mean really look at them, because they look so confident and so carefree and sure of themselves, but you never know what that person is carrying, the ways in which they are just like you, the ways in which your patients are just like you. And the more we look at our phones instead of the people in front of us, the more we call our patients 30-year-old females instead of Catherine, the medical student, or Winston, the English professor, or Jillian, doctor, writer, mother, sister, wife, who after 25 years in medicine is still trying to figure this out, just like you. The more we perpetuate the same old hurts, we perpetuate a system that blinds us to the exact thing that we are here to do, our ability to relieve suffering in all of its forms. And we are diminished in that moment because we lose sight of our patients as a source of inspiration, of wisdom, of love, of humor, of teaching, of insight and meaning and healing. Class of 2025, as you mark your entry into the sisterhood, the brotherhood, the fellowship of medicine, here are my wishes for you. That your patients remember you for the right reasons. That you reject cynicism as destiny. And that you find liberation knowing that your smallest actions, the ones that we are all capable of, not your grand gestures, are the ones that will ultimately define you. Please don't accept the challenge of a life in medicine as staying human, a model where you think of medicine and patients as trying to steal a humanity that you are clinging to. Your challenge, and everyone's challenge, is to become more human. One patient, one phone call, one outstretched hand at a time. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Merci, Gélienne. Je pense qu'on va tous et toutes se souvenir de vos mots et d'espérer qu'on va être souvenus de la bonne façon et de résister de devenir cynique. Merci beaucoup. J'aimerais maintenant inviter la Dr. Joanna Caron, directrice du volet rôle du médecin au campus Montréal, et Dr. Mina Zeroual, directrice du cours médecin apprenti au campus Outaouais, à prendre la parole.
Dear parents, faculty, Osler Fellows, Dean Eidelman, Dr. Horton, and class of 2025, congratulations, you've arrived. You're at that moment where you're going to put on the white coat and really be part of the patient care team. This is what you've been working for, and this is what's about to begin. I hope that you accept the invitation given to you today to take a moment to pause and to reflect on what has brought you here to this moment, on how hard you've worked, and the people who've supported you along the way. To remember what brought you to this career. It's a moment to let go of the hundreds of pages of material that you've studied over the last year and a bit, and remember that all of that studying, all of that hard work was done to use your knowledge to help your patients. It's a moment to honor the privileged position that our patients put us in, divulging their deepest fears, hopes, and concerns, and they will, even though they don't know you, because you're their doctor. This is also a moment for your teachers, faculty, and Osler Fellows to pause and reflect, in pride at your accomplishments, but also in gratitude, as I know that I speak for all of your teachers when I say thank you. Thank you for reminding me why we went into medicine, for reminding all of us why we went into medicine. Teaching is a beautiful way to reignite that flame that can sometimes flicker after a long day, a long week, a sleepless time. So congratulations, and as you move forward on your journey as healers in professionalism, please move forward with kindness and compassion to your patients, and as Dr. Eidelman and Dr. Horton mentioned, to each other, to your colleagues, and to your community at large. Thank you.
Bonjour, chers doyens, mes collègues, chers parents et adorables étudiants. Merci beaucoup de m'avoir choisi pour dire ce mot au nom du campus d'Ottawa. Nous sommes ici pour célébrer une grande journée pour vous, pour célébrer un chapitre qui va commencer dans votre carrière et dans votre vie. Je me souviens très bien des premiers moments quand j'ai commencé mes stages à l'hôpital. Parce qu'avant d'enseigner l'anatomie et tous les autres cours que je donne, moi aussi j'étais médecin, j'étais chirurgienne. Je me rappelle très bien des premiers accouchements que j'ai faits, des premiers gestes que j'ai faits. J'ai beaucoup appris à l'hôpital. J'ai beaucoup appris de mes malades. J'ai appris la patience, la sagesse. J'ai appris également de toute l'équipe médicale et paramédicale avec laquelle j'ai travaillé. Je vous conseille très fortement de rester solidaire, de penser à l'équipe, penser non seulement à vos collègues médecins, mais à tous les autres collègues qui vous accompagnent. Tout le monde est important et parce que vous êtes dans le même environnement, soyez toujours positifs et apportez le bon pour cet environnement. C'est très important pour une synergie et pour un meilleur travail et par la suite par une meilleure prise des patients. J'aimerais également ajouter de rester tout le temps professionnel. Restez professionnel avec vos patients, restez professionnel avec vos collègues et restez professionnel avec vous-même. Prenez soin de vous-même, essayez de savoir le moment où c'est trop pour vous. Essayez de rester en communication avec soi-même pour savoir qu'est-ce qui ne marche pas au moment des moments les plus difficiles. C'est sûr qu'il va y avoir des moments de joie très agréables, mais il va y avoir également d'autres moments où vous aurez besoin de vous concentrer sur vous-même et de réfléchir pour savoir qu'est-ce qui ça n'a pas marché pour essayer de le redresser. Merci beaucoup et toutes mes félicitations. Donc félicitations aux étudiants MD 2025. Félicitations aux parents et aux proches qui ont très bien travaillé et soutenu. Merci de tout mon cœur. Je sais ce que ça veut dire être un parent de médecin. Donc félicitations aux étudiants et félicitations aux parents et félicitations à nous tous par cette grande réussite. Et félicitations au campus d'Ottawa de prendre les relais et de commencer ce programme francophone. Merci beaucoup.
Merci à Dr. Caron et Dr. Zeroual. Jeffrey Sioufi, one of our senior students, will now be offering his reflections.
Hi, everyone. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Esteemed members of faculty, Dean Eidelman, and Dr. Horton, thank you for such a touching address. I don't know how I can follow that up, but I'll do my best. It's an honor to be here today, representing my cohort. On behalf of the class of 2023, I'd like to extend our sincerest congratulations to all of you for finally donning the white coat today. It's no small feat. Je tiens aussi à féliciter vos amis, votre famille, tous ceux qui vous ont supporté à travers vos études, parce que c'est aussi grâce à eux qu'on est ici aujourd'hui. Donc, félicitations. Now, you may be surprised to find that not all of you will actually wear your white coats during your rotations, and that's okay. The oath that you take today is the important part. It extends past the hospital, past the clinic, and past the white coat. Whether you're voting for public health policy, which we'll all be doing soon with the provincial elections, maybe you're in an airplane and they call for a doctor on board, who knows, maybe you're on your way home in the metro and you witness a drug overdose. In those moments, you'll be expected to act as a physician, wherever and whenever duty calls. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Jeff, I don't even know my cranial nerves yet. I'm not quite ready to save someone's life on an airplane. Fair. So, let me talk about how you're going to get there first. You're all going to enter the hospitals as undifferentiated medical students. And over the course of those 2 years, through every patient interaction, every suture, and every late night spent on call, you'll come out the other end as a physician. Now, each and every one of your journeys is going to be unique. And what you decide to take away from your experiences is up to you. Your staff, your residents, even UGME can't control what you decide to learn during your clerkship. So, today I'd like to share 3 tips. My advice on how to make the best of your 2 years in the hospital. Tip number 1, remember your first day. I remember my first day of clerkship. I showed up to the Montreal General Hospital, and after about 10 minutes of running around trying to find the nephrology department, I finally met my 2 residents, and they handed me a patient list. Now, I'd like to read to you verbatim the description of my very first patient. It was assigned to me because it was a simple case. 71M, AKI on CKD, stage 3B, EGFR 35, presented with anasarca, 2/2 CHFE, now improving on Lasix, 40 IV BID, planning for IHD MWF. What? When you have those moments where you feel clueless, completely out of your element, remember that feeling. Hold on to it for as long as you can, because you will very quickly get used to the world of medicine. Its acronyms, its drugs, its pathologies. Your patients won't have that same privilege. As trainees who are just walking down the path to becoming a medical professional, you're in the best spot right now to bridge the gap between our world and the patients. Remember what it feels like to navigate the medical system as a layperson. Because trust me, if you don't make an effort to remember, you will forget. As a medical student, I highly encourage all of you, take the time to explain everything to your patients. It'll make a world of a difference. Donc, en sommaire, rappelez-vous votre première journée, parce que vos premières interactions avec le système médical sont beaucoup, beaucoup plus importantes que vous le pensez. Tip number 2, embrace your failures. Now, for most of your training up until this point, being perfect seemed attainable. And I'm sure many people in this room have gotten 4.0 GPAs in the past. Unfortunately, clinical training doesn't exactly work like that. As a medical student, you're expected to make mistakes. I can guarantee you'll make multiple mistakes every single day, especially in the first few weeks. But do not let the failures, the challenges, discourage you. Don't let your fear of failing impede your learning. Every staff in this room will tell you the same thing. They'd rather work with a med student who asks questions when they're not sure about something, that bring up their concerns, even if they're irrelevant at times, and who own up to their mistakes and learn from them. Vous êtes là pour apprendre, pas pour impressionner les gens. Donc, en essayant d'éviter vos erreurs, vous allez juste vous priver des meilleures opportunités d'apprentissage. Don't be scared to mess up. Just remember to learn from every mistake. And finally, tip number 3, stay grounded. Now, all of you are very smart, and you'll all be Dynamed and up-to-date experts in no time. Okay? We all have one of these in the hospital. What makes you special are your interests outside of medicine. You know, your coworkers are going to remember you as the guy who owns a dog, who plays music, plays the violin really well, who supports the Habs. They're not going to remember you as the med student who knows the dosing of every antibiotic. Who cares? I can Google that. So, remember what makes you special. Continue to pursue your interests, spend time with loved ones, make time for your hobbies. I know it sounds really straightforward right now, but when you're working 12-hour shifts and weekend calls, it becomes more difficult. Donc, assurez-vous d'avoir une vie à l'extérieur de vos études en médecine. Be human first and a medical student second. Voilà pour mes 3 conseils. Rappelez-vous votre première journée, apprenez de vos erreurs et continuez à avoir une vie. Remember your first day, embrace your failures, and stay grounded. Now, I'd like to leave you with one last message. As aspiring physicians, we often strive to be altruistic to a fault, sometimes at the detriment of our own well-being. Remember that your physical and mental well-being should always take precedence over your training. If you're ever feeling unwell, overwhelmed, take time off. You have many flex days and sick days, take them all. And reach out to the well office, reach out to your support network, your friends, your colleagues. At the end of the day, we're all in this together. So make sure that you're checking in on each other and venting, because trust me, there will be many things to vent about over the next 2 years. Cela étant dit, promotion 2025, j'aimerais vous féliciter une dernière fois d'avoir atteint ce point crucial dans votre formation. J'ai bien hâte de vous rencontrer dans les hôpitaux. Merci.
Merci, Jeffrey. Très bien dit pour vos sages réflexions. Le temps est enfin venu pour les étudiants et étudiantes d'enfiler leur sarrau blanc et de prononcer le serment de leur promotion. Nous commencerons avec le campus Outaouais. Lorsque vous entendrez votre nom, rendez-vous à l'avant de la salle où on vous remettra votre sarrau. Vous pouviez retirer votre masque avant d'atteindre la scène et pour la prise de photos. Mais vous devez ensuite le remettre pour retourner à votre place. Je vais d'abord appeler les mentors Osler, the Osler mentors. Dr. André Bilodeau, côté droit. Et Dr. Zeroual qui va prendre la place côté gauche de Dr. Sylvie Brousseau, qui a apparemment accouché. Elle a eu un petit garçon. Oh. David El Adem. Dr. Bilodeau, vous pouvez enlever votre masque. Alexis Charello. Daniel Josue Guerra Ordaz. Valérie Gay. Antoine Lalonde. Akash Patni. Hongda Lee. Zachary Rehani. Raphaël Rescala. Omar Tubar. Fang Fang Sun. Max Williams. Merci, Dr. Bilodeau. Maintenant, j'aimerais appeler Dr. Mark Saul. Côté. Et Dr. Zeroual va rester pour remplacer Dr. Marinella Mandra. Andréane Béchard. Patrick Asselin. Franco Dana. Lily Fakouri. Amrit Das. Jeanne Lou. Wassim El-Masri. Félix Rousseau. Hanzang Huang. Wassim Senoussi. David Liu. Peter Tai. Félicitations à tous nos étudiants et toutes nos étudiantes. Je laisse maintenant Dr. Mondou lancer la remise des sarraux pour les étudiantes et étudiants de Campus Montréal.
Thank you, Dr. Kosh. When your name is called, please proceed to the front where you will don your white coat. You may take off your mask prior to reaching the stage for the donning for the photo, and then please put it back on and return to your seat. The Osler Fellows can also remove their mask. So calling first the Osler Fellows, Dr. Danielle Rabipour and Dr. Aaron Silberman. First welcome Sarah Abdesami. And Mershad Bakshi. Ahmed Al-Asmar. And Clara Charbonneau. Sébastien Lamar-Tellier. Cyril Gutetti. Ruby Lantier-Théberge. Casey Hearn. Julia Luo, Joseph Najar, Megan Jean Dawn Shaw, Ella Salas, I would like now to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Victor McPherson and Dr. Chanel Fortier-Tuga. Rebecca Abera, Laila Adimer, Hamza Ahmad, Yamin Benadessalam, Thomas Barabé Tremblay, Argo Data, Sani Kinazi, Sophie Halit, Hamna Majid, Nick Kalashnikov, Catherine Zhu, Emmanuel Orphanos, Thank you. I'll be calling you Osler Fellow, Dr. Sonia Geleli and Dr. Thomas Mind. Emily Ajit Roger. And Alice Beauchet. Leui Aloga. Samuel Cholette-Tétrault. Nivya Balasubramanian. Amanda Essebag. Syphax Brewery. Alia Hamouda. Jamie McGrill. Breeden Pearl. Eve Michaud. Jean-Marc Terrien Blanchet. I would like to welcome new Osler Fellows, Dr. Joanne Alfieri and Dr. Oren Steinmetz. Emily Aronov. Arij Buragbi. Alicia Belèche. Marie-Chantal Ferland. Tyler Cannon. Ellie Titt. Sarah Daraj. Justin Pham. Arnaud Godin. Fadi Touma. Marie-Catherine Mongenot. I would like to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Matthew Donlan and Dr. Jessica Tremblay. Zoe Atsaidis. Ying Cheng. Adelet Bugra. Laura Fiorentino. Tanya Cheerson. Megan Israel. Luis Henry Gonzalez Torres. Alexander Kivorkov. Christian Haddad. Sid Rahman. Bronwyn Monty, Christian Fleshek, I would now like to call Osler Fellow Dr. Joanna Caron in replacement of Dr. Amanda Schachter and Dr. Barry Slapkoff. Dr. Slapkoff to my left. Marianne Aumet. Gina Fauché-Jabado. David Derish. Noémie Joannette Lafrance. Samir Gouin. Simon Lafontaine. Roy Calaf. Rajalingam. Justine Morin. Yohel Jacobi. Just to say that unfortunately Yoel could not be with us today. Olga Tsiruk. Lauriane Forêt. I would like to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Robert Sternzis and Dr. John Hughes. Cyril de Vaux-Tousignan. Sofiane Gabrielli. Daniel Guindon, Carla Herman, Alice To-Ran Gao, Rose Kamiab, Geneviève Lamarche, Félix Mayou, Yassine Looney, Saad Razak, Sarah Moussa, Rachana Ukdum Yukhan, I would like to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Jason Freder and Dr. Mitch Schiller. Dominic Daru Bandi, Roshali Gandhi, Ramaz Hanna, Benoît Harvey, Nihal Islam, Lena Kingdom, Noor Kabes, Angelina Lowe, Gregory Mikarov, Walid Nasiri, Karina Paliotti, Jake Rose, I would like to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Barry Slapkov in replacement of Dr. Konstantin Soulelis, and Dr. Preetha Krishnamurthy. Regan Bilodeau, Marie-Laurence Brunet, Martina Hertzstein, Sarah Gaudreau, Omar Idrissi, Cedric Caffier, Rebecca Lozano Franco, Kautar Kulmi, Anne-Sophie Paquette, Erfan Sadri, Olivier Renaud-Charret, Peter Scalia, I would like to call new Osler Fellows. We will keep Dr. Slapkov on my right for Dr. Miguel Bernier, and I would like to call Dr. Hipshita Prakash on my left. Julia Biris, Maud Gélina Fauché, Shiavash Kermani Kouchi, Alexandra La Liberté, Jasmine, 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 Jasmine Matthew Lassman. Amanda Lupu. Claudia Majdel. Kim Perriard. Albert Shalmiev. Armin Shahin Safai Naini. Anwar Sohail Shuhan. I would like to call new Osler Fellows. We'll ask Dr. Slapkov to stay again for Dr. Eli Girzovich, and I would like to call to my left Dr. Sonia Scamini. Tasha Boucher. Omaima Gafood. Mustafa Fouki. Jonathan Lebeau. Maya Michaud. Amanda Maroney. Lucy Pou. Frédéric Sauvé. Alisa Sandino Gold. Zida Shang. Gabriel Trottenberg. Yaman Zarour. I would now like to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Bradley Osterman to my right, and Dr. Maria Cavalli Garrido to my left. Erika Burgess. Clara Goetke. Eden Farber. Mihai Mesko. Jack Legler. Lauren Perlman. Rose Noël. Alexandre Sisby. Rosalie Racine. Emily Steinberg. Vanessa Savarimutu. I would like to call new Osler Fellows, Dr. Matthew Cameron on my right and Dr. Milan Azam on my left. Jillian Kaplan. Elizabeth Going. Ali Fazlolahi. Marie-Pierre Légaré. Joanie Victoria Piché. Alicia Chen. Gabriela Regalado. Jacob Silkoff. Taylor Stows. Matushan Sobashri. Caroline Toulouse. I would like to call new Osler Fellows Dr. Kenneth Shaw to my right and Dr. Barry Slapkoff for Dr. Madeleine Yona on my left. Nina Caporici Denucci. William Davilan. Delan Delany. Dimitri Evangeliou. Francis Feldman. Jessica Greenberg. Nicolas Lavoie. Lily Grossman. Leanne Reed. Alexander Stoljar Gold. Yu Shen Shi. Wentida Vourabou Lecourt. I would like to call new Osler Fellows and ask Dr. Slapkoff when he's ready to move to my right. We're making him exercise today. And in replacement of Dr. David Lazary and Dr. Kirandi Birdie to my left, please. Melissa Baudouin. Natacha Grimard. Sabrina Shang. Kei Yan Lee. William Filion. Oliver Terry. Jasmine Rochi. Sierra Whitelaw. Jenny Wang. Emma Junowska. I would like to call a new Osler Fellow, Dr. Ingrid Hings. Sami Abusita. Hilary Shepu Mukendi. Mark Fitzpatrick. Tina Rosenville. Kyla Wong. Congratulations once more to all of our students. Let us now welcome your colleague, Thomas Barabé-Tremblay, who will lead you in reciting the class pledge in English.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of the McGill Medicine Class of 2025, I want to sincerely thank everyone who made this incredible event possible. I also want to thank the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences for giving us all the opportunity of a lifetime to study medicine at a world-renowned institution. I want to take a moment to thank all of our loved ones, whether or not they're present with us today, for supporting us unconditionally. On a personal level, I know that I would not be here today if it wasn't for my parents' unwavering love and encouragement. You experienced with us the highs just like the lows of this journey, and so this is your achievement as much as it is ours. I have to tell my class it's truly incredible to be here with all of you today. Our class is usually only reunited for exams, and I'm sure we can all agree that this is a much better reason to be all together. I'm extremely thankful to be a part of such an accomplished and inspiring group of individuals. I look around me and I see all the amazing friends I've had the chance to meet and the memories we created that were guaranteed to last a lifetime. As we're about to start TCP and soon clerkship, let us take a moment to appreciate the strong bonds we formed and strive to continue to be there for one another. And now for the pledge. If the entire class of 2025 can please stand up. Open your booklet, first page. We'll read very, very slowly. Okay? So, if ever. Okay. So if everyone's ready, okay. Can just follow my lead. Donning the healer's habit marks a symbolic transition into the next stage of medical training with the honor of receiving the white coat. Today, in the presence of our family, friends, and mentors, we wholeheartedly pledge to uphold the profession's duty of service with humility and compassion, to respect and care for our patients, our colleagues, and ourselves, to nurture our intellectual curiosity and embrace lifelong learning, to acknowledge our mistakes and do right by the patient, to respect, recognize, and celebrate differences in cultures, beliefs, and identities, to work in partnership with communities to address barriers, to be mindful of our responsibility as leaders, to dedicate ourselves to improving the health of those we serve. With this pledge, let us reflect on what drove us to the field of medicine as we aspire to become part of the next generation of dedicated physicians. Let us embark on this journey with honor, humility, and excitement.
Accueillons maintenant votre collègue Omar Toubar, qui vous guidera dans la prestation du serment de promotion en français.
Bonjour tout le monde. Juste avant de commencer, j'aimerais féliciter tous mes collègues d'avoir atteint cette étape importante dans notre parcours et remercier nos invités d'avoir pris le temps de partager ce moment spécial avec nous. En 2020, la Faculté de médecine et des sciences de la santé de l'Université McGill a commencé à former la relève médicale dans la belle région de l'Outaouais à la suite de l'inauguration du campus Outaouais. Un nouveau campus qui maintient le même niveau d'excellence cultivé par la faculté depuis près de 200 ans. Comme plusieurs d'entre nous, lorsque j'ai officiellement rejoint le campus, j'avais de la difficulté à formuler des phrases rudimentaires en français. Cependant, c'est grâce à l'environnement chaleureux présent au campus Outaouais qui favorise la croissance et l'amélioration de chacun que je suis debout devant vous aujourd'hui en tant que président de classe représentant ma cohorte à la prestigieuse cérémonie de sarrau blanc. Remarquablement, le campus Outaouais encourage l'innovation, la créativité et prône l'effort et l'implication autant de la part des étudiants que des membres de la faculté. Ensemble, nous avons réalisé plusieurs projets percutants, mais l'accomplissement dont nous sommes les plus fiers, c'est la vie étudiante vibrante, bâtie sur le travail d'équipe, le professionnalisme et l'admiration pour la persévérance de chacun d'entre nous. Now I'm going to ask students from both camps who are already standing up, so we'll just get right to it. All right. La cérémonie des sarraux blancs marque une transition symbolique vers la prochaine étape de la formation médicale. Aujourd'hui, en présence de nos familles, de nos amis, de nos mentors, nous prêtons ce serment. Nous respecterons le devoir de service de notre profession avec humilité et compassion. Nous prendrons soin de nos patients, de nos collègues et de nous-mêmes, dans le respect de tous. Nous nourrirons notre curiosité intellectuelle et continuerons d'apprendre tout au long de notre vie. Nous reconnaîtrons nos erreurs et agirons pour le bien de nos patients. Nous reconnaîtrons, respecterons et célébrerons les différences de culture, de croyances et d'identité. Nous travaillerons en partenariat avec les communautés afin d'éliminer les obstacles. Nous porterons attention à notre rôle de leader. Nous nous consacrerons à l'amélioration de la santé des communautés que nous servons. En prenant cet engagement, rappelons-nous ce qui nous a poussés à choisir la médecine et à aspirer à appartenir à la relève médicale. Lançons-nous dans ce parcours avec honneur, humilité et enthousiasme. Encore une fois, félicitations tout le monde.
Well, congratulations again to all of our students. This is so exciting to have you all here with your family and friends who are also on this journey with them. And I also want to thank everyone who is joining us on YouTube, pointing in the air wherever you are. We will now invite you for a part of this ceremony, which we unfortunately were not able to have in the last 2 years, which will be our light reception to celebrate the accomplishment of our students. I want to thank you all again for your participation. The reception will be on the 3rd floor, and wine will be served in about 15 to 20 minutes. Masks can be removed during when you are eating or drinking, and please make sure to bring all your personal items with you or that you could have put under the chair. Congratulations again to all of our students. Enjoy the reception.